Hello and welcome to Dream It, Dare It, Do It, Live the Life You Want. I am Jasmine, your host, as you all know, because you keep listening to me. Um, Today, I have a special guest, my friend Pam Hall. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Jasmine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I met Pam during a class that we were doing with Rob Cook. We were doing Unlock Your Health, and that's how we met. And Pam, as you know, I have a conversation and I have a lot of thinking about weight, weight loss, moving, eating, all of that, all of the stuff that we need to do every single day. I have a lot of thinking about that. And Pam is actually a Weight Watcher coach. So you've been working with Weight Watcher for 15 years.
Right, right.
So we're going to have a conversation about, what she's seen because Pam has lost 100 pounds and has been maintaining the loss. So tell me a little bit, Pam, off camera. We were chatting about how there was something because you've lost weight before. You had lost 90 pounds. You said you lost 90 pounds twice
Right,
before.
right.
So was that just a question like this? Was that before the three principles?
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Even the losing the 100 pounds was before the three principles. So
yeah.
it's been like 18 years ago that I
Okay.
lost it. Yeah.
Okay. And so now you're inside this new paradigm that we're all talking about of mind thought consciousness. Can you share with me a little bit what you're seeing lately?
Sure, I'll be glad to. So I was seeing that as a Weight Watchers coach, or WW is the official name now, but as a coach, I could see that there was a lot of science. There's a lot of science that goes into the program, and it's all around what we eat, how we move, the importance of sleep, but mindset. And it's all all of the science that goes into that. But I could see for me, even though I was a coach and I had all the tools available to me at my, right at my fingertips, there was times that I was all in and I was doing it, and there was times that I wasn't. And so it was like there was one extreme or the other. And there was something about that that just did not feel right. It just felt, uh, I thought that if you were really truly living a healthy lifestyle, that you didn't need motivation to do it every day. I could see that. And when I came into the three principles, it was because there was I knew that there was something deeper going on. And so over the years, I think I've been in the conversation for about 15 years now. And so over the years, what I have seen, and this has been very recent, like within the last month or two, I have seen that because I had lost 90 pounds twice and gained it all back twice. And then I lost over 100 pounds in the beginning, and then I started gaining the weight back. And so yo in some, but not the 90, was more like 30 or 40 pounds instead of 90 or 100. So because there was just something that I could just see that there's something that just is not right. There's something that feels off. And so, in the conversation, and what I have seen in the last 2 or 3 months is that I was making maintaining my weight more important than living a happy life. And so, because of that, when I saw that that's what the cause was, then all of the struggle with food just kind of vanished. It's just kind of dissipated.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's funny because there's something occurring for me around it. I haven't seen, like, if there's one thing that I've been around the principles for a long time too, And you know, there are things that I see totally clearly, and there's things that I just, there's so much thinking that I give up. I kind of like, I'm not looking this way, it's just too much, you know, I kind of give it up. But something is occurring. I'm getting very aware of the power of my negative talk. So since August, I've started doing that. I don't do WW. I just don't want to do diets because I think they suck.
I'll agree.
So I've been, you know, looking for the thing that I'm just going to see. Like you said, I think that once I've seen through it, it's going to naturally take care of itself. You know what I mean? But I haven't seen through it. But the thing that I've seen this week, so I've started moving quite a bit. I do my Pilates every week, and so I did within the span of 4 days, I did 2 classes. So on Thursday, I did a class and I was so proud of myself. Like I did this class and I could feel the burn and I was like, look at this, I'm doing it. I'm so good. Like, you know, I got out of this class and I was like, oh yeah, it hurts when I walk. Yeah, cool. You know, it was kind of like, I was just so proud of myself. And then 4 days later on Monday, I do another class. And in that class, I was just like, oh, you're so fucking fat. And oh man, look at this. You can't even turn around. You've got trouble here. You're always in pain. Like, and it was just 2 worlds. It was just like totally 2 worlds. And as I got out of that class on Monday, I stepped out and I said, okay, I'm going to get myself some tequila, some margarita mixes. I'm going to get some chips and some popcorn and let's go. I'm on it. You know, like I'm going to celebrate the fact that I suffered through this and now like I deserve this. And obviously not so proud of that of that burst of craziness, but I could see how that's a pattern that I did in the past, you know, where I would just do these great efforts and then one day I'd have this big bad day of hearing my negative talk so loud that I was just believe it, agree with it, and then drop everything that I did, you know? And I was talking to our friend Rob, and he says, well, okay, so now you know. So just next time, don't do anything. Like just next time, know that if you keep going in that swirl, you're going towards, you know, chips and popcorn, you know.
And what I'm hearing and what you're saying, Jasmine, is that you were in 2 totally different states of mind. So one week, your state of mind was pretty good. And the next week, your state of mind was down. And so you were beating yourself up about where you were on the journey. And we're going to be in different states of mind, but and when we're in that lower state of mind, we're going to have negative thoughts. But those thoughts are no more real than your dog is being bad because she
did the dog thing.
Yeah, she did a dog thing. She used the bathroom in the house by mistake, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of thinking is not real. And the more you can recognize that, oh, there I am beating myself up again. And I listen to a lot of Grace Kelly, and she calls it, I think she said she got it from Michael Neal, but she calls it Bob the drunk guy in your head, you know, that beats you up over stuff. And so the more you can recognize that, the more you can separate from it. You don't, so because it's that negative spiral of the way you're treating yourself that makes you want to eat. You're
Yeah.
gonna, you're just gonna want it because you're feeling bad. But that's the only reason we've ever gone for it. Because we're
Yeah.
feeling down on ourselves.
Yeah, it's kind of like I've noticed that. So this intermittent fasting that I do, there's it's I have an app, and I basically log, my what did you eat? They're not saying what exactly did you eat, how many calories. They don't say that. They just say, okay, so what time is it? What did you eat? Was it healthy, unhealthy, or mixed? And then they ask you, um, I don't know why I got there. I lost my train of thought, but I can see that they ask you for your mood. Like inside,
Mhm.
they ask you for your mood. And I see that, a lot of the times I eat, I kept, somebody asked me, this is where I was going. Somebody asked me, are you an emotional eater? And I'd be like, no, I'm not an emotional eater, not at all. And then I start logging in my app, and I start seeing, okay, snack. Why did you eat the snack? Oh, it's it was a craving, or I liked the taste, or I felt like it, or something, or I was bored. There's like the I was
Mhm.
bored thing. So I can see that it's kind of like my go-to. I've been single and living alone since I was 22. So it's kind of like, okay, I have never had the habit of like, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to go for a walk, which, would be a good, healthy habit to have. No, my habit is, what could I eat, or what could I drink,
Mhm.
and so that's what I've been doing. As I'm talking to you, I'm like, that could be a good habit that I could have instead. When I'm bored, instead of eating, I could go walking.
Funny how we have our own answers, right, Jasmine?
Yeah, we have our own answers,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I'd be willing to bet your dog would love to go out for a walk too.
Yeah, Georgia keeps telling me, my friend Georgia, she's like, I talk to her, I come online and the dog hears her and she comes online. And the first thing she says is, did mommy take you for a walkie? And I'm like, shut up. Every time. But it's like, ever since, I'm telling you, ever since I was like 7, I mean, no, I never wanted to do physical things. Never. It has always been a thing for me.
And I can relate, Jasmine. I really can because I mean, if I was over 100 pounds overweight, and I was a senior when I was a senior in high school, there was a reason for that. And I didn't enjoy being active. I mean, doing anything physical. But whenever I did get that motivation to lose weight, I lost 100 pounds. I was walking. And my mentality was then, because I knew that if I moved, it was going to help the weight loss. I will be the first one to say you cannot out exercise a bad diet. But activity will, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a walk, it could be anything that gets you moving, but it doesn't, it'll help to boost your weight loss. So, but not just that, it boosts your mood too. And when we feel better, it's easier to do better.
It's so funny because as I'm listening to you speak, I'm thinking, what I love about the three principles is that it's simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super simple. Are you in the now, or are you in your head? You know,
Right,
it's
right.
it's and I'm looking at this whole thing, and walking is simple, you know, yet I'm like, oh no, it has to be something else.
Right.
Like it is the simplest thing. Like I could just add walking to my life, and it would totally probably transform
You
me.
don't have you don't have to go anywhere to do it. You
Yeah.
don't you don't have to have any kind of, you need a good pair of walking shoes, but Other than that, no special equipment, no, just go outside and go for a walk.
Yeah.
And I promise you, your dog will get to the place that she won't let you not go.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, she has gained weight, and during the pandemic, she has gained weight. And somebody came the other day and she's like, "Oh, look at the little chubby." And I was like, so insulted. "Don't you dare call my dog chubby. Don't you dare." And I'm like, "But it's my fault." Anyways, so yeah, so this is something new to ponder. Hmm. But let me ask you again, off camera. We were having a talk, and you did address it a little bit here, but I wanted you to tell us a little bit about how you had an insight about how you didn't like the way that you built your life.
Okay. Okay. I had over the course of the summer, my husband came to me and told me that he didn't like the person that I became anymore, and that he didn't think he wanted to be married to me anymore.
Mm.
And so that was like, I mean, it caught me totally off guard. I was not expecting it. I mean, I had started to see how he was staying away from home all the time. And so I finally talked to him about it, and he told me, it's just, I don't think I want to be married to you anymore. And I said, well, do you want to at least work on it? And he said, I don't think I do. And I was devastated. And even in the same day, I was able to see that I don't like the life that I have created for myself. And it was like over the course of the years, and the last year or two, it had gotten especially bad. But it was like I had made managing my weight, because I didn't want to do that yo-yo, that 90 or 100-pound yo-yo anymore. And so I had made managing my weight more important than living a happy life. And so my life had become small. I was not going with him. We might go out to eat dinner once in a while, but we didn't go. I wouldn't go with him anywhere and wouldn't do anything with him. And matter of fact, I would get upset about. Oh, he's a truck driver, so he would go to bed early at night. And if he stayed up a little bit late, I would get agitated because I couldn't wait for him to go to bed so I could eat. And I didn't want him to know I was eating. And so my life had become very small. And whenever he said that he was going to leave me, it was like everything else fell away. And it was like saving my marriage is the most important thing to me right now. And over the course of the 6 or 8 weeks, 3 months, ever how long it's been since then, it's like now I can see that I had created a small life trying to manage my weight, where now I'm going and doing things with him. We've been kayaking, we've been just going for drives, we've been visiting with friends, and it's like my whole life just feels lighter and freer, and my issues with food have fallen away. It's like they just disappeared.
So you had it like, if I go out, then I'm gonna eat, or I won't be able to, like.
Well, I don't think it was that. Well, now it may have started as that, but it was just that. Okay, so because I would eat, and whenever I ate, I wouldn't eat healthy food. I was eating just whatever. It tended to be sweet, or it tended to be sweet, but I would just eat so much that I would be uncomfortable. And because I was uncomfortable, then I would beat myself up about it, and then I couldn't sleep well. And it was like this whole big circle. And
Spiral.
yeah, a spiral. And so then I beating myself up more. And so whenever I thought he was going to leave me, it's like that just ceased to be important anymore. It was like eating didn't even occur to me anymore. Because now over the course, since things have settled back down with him, because now we are, I would say now, and okay, so that happened in July and it's November now. I would say that our relationship is better than it's ever been. And so, but that's because I realized what's really important, and that's living a happy life. And if he really did want to leave me, I wouldn't be happy. But I do know that food won't be the reason that I've been able to see that it won't be the reason that I won't ever go back there to let food make my life so small. So what I was going to say, that I got sidetracked, but what I was going to say is that because I felt bad, then I was going for the crappy food. And so, and then that just, it was making me depressed. So I was living life more depressed. And that's what in turn was making my life smaller. It's like I didn't want to go anywhere because I didn't feel like it. I just was feeling down.
So like how you expressed it before when we were, because that what I said to Pam, those of you listening, what I said to Pam is, okay, we better hit record, because she was telling me a whole bunch of stuff and I was like, but we're not recording. So one of the things that you said pre-recording is like you kind of saw how you were not in your life.
Yes, I spent more of my life in my head thinking about how I needed to be, and less of my life living my life. And matter of fact, yesterday I am a paper planner person. I like my things written down on paper. I would love to be digital, but I'm just not. And so, especially about a planner, I want to see things that I've got coming up. And so I was transferring stuff from my old planner to my new planner. And I found a note that I had made for myself last year in November. And one of the things that it said, the note I made for myself, I want to love my life because I'm living my life and loving the people in it. And that just, it was just like something hit me hard. And I cried whenever I saw it, because I realized that that's what I was wanting. I knew it then. I just didn't know how to get there. So the insight showed me that I was keeping myself small because I was staying in my head. I was living my life in my head and the way I thought things should be, instead of just going out and living life.
Yeah, it's funny. Like sometimes we're looking for something. We're like, we've got something. We've got this yearning for something, and then we get stuck on the how. But how? So then we're stuck in here, and we're like, but how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? Instead of just saying, I want that, and let me live in the now and look around to see if I can see it, instead of trying to figure it out with your intellect.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Right.
So, and most of the time, like every year, and I've stopped doing it now, but for many years, what I would do in November and December is I would sit down and just, I'm like you, I'm a paper girl, but I'm very digital. I'm a computer geek. So I've got all of this, but I need to write. I need to put stuff on paper. And so I would write, I called it my wish list. So I would look at every aspect of my life. What do I want here? And I'd write it down. I'd just write, and I'd write anything that would pop up in my head that I'd be like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Oh yeah, that would be cool, and I'd make myself a wish list. And then I'd close the book, never look at it again, And my intellect would say, well, why the hell are you doing this? You're not even making goal plan and that, like, because that's my training. Like, I've trained in structures and how to structure thing and how goals work. And I got all that down. But my nature was like, no, just write it down. Let yourself And I think that's why the podcast is called Dream It, Dare It, Do It. Just let yourself dream, dare to actually write down what you would like for the hell of it. Who cares if you don't get it? Just write it down. And what I found is that the year after, when I like just open the book to write down new ones, I'd go, wait a sec, that happened, and that happened, and that happened. Oh my God, I never thought this would happen. It did happen. And it was really, really cool. The magic of just let yourself dare to say out loud what you really want.
I have found I've been a whole lot more likely to accomplish something by doing it just like that. If I set a goal and I set SMART goals, that's something that WW is big on, and I'm not ditching that at all because it works for some people, but it's got to be specific and
measurable, attainable,
realistic and truly doable, all of the things. And it's like, that's wonderful. And I'll say it, that I'll say that, that it's really helpful for a lot of people. But for me, it's always worked better to just point myself in a direction. And that's what we're doing when we're writing it down and leaving it. I pointed myself in the direction of living a happy life because I'm living in my life and not in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of your head and into your heart.
Exactly.
Well, Pam, I knew we were going to have a good conversation. So everyone, if you would like to talk to Pam, if you'd like to send her a message, you can write a message in the message box, of course, that you're going to see at the bottom of wherever you are looking at this or listening to this. Or I'm going to put also in the description, I'm going to put her Facebook. So if you want to reach out to her, I've already talked to her. She says that you can talk to her.
Right.
So is there anything that you would like to add? Is there anything that you're thinking of that you'd like to add?
The only thing that really comes to mind is just get out of your head and into your life. Live your life in the now. Stop and notice what's going on around you. Notice the good in your life. And that's in the people in your life and in nature, just wherever you are, there's always something good. And if you're willing to look for it, or if you're willing to see it, might be a better way to say it. If you're willing to see it.
Very nice. Well, Pam, thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
I have so enjoyed it. It's been an honor to speak with you, Jasmyne.
Thank you so much. So everybody, thank you for listening to us. And please make sure that you subscribe, you follow, you like, leave us comments, just spread the love. And I'm going to say, dream it, dare it, do it, live the life you want, and have a good day. Bye.